must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
The government of Kenya is keen on the development of social economic infrastructure to support the realization of the Big Four agenda and Vision 2030. The ambitious infrastructure projects are aimed at opening up the country for business and bolster productivity, particularly in the agricultural, manufacturing and the service industry, as this would bolster employment opportunities. Part of these critical infrastructure projects include the ongoing 27-kilometer expressway linking Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and Nairobi's Westlands. Upon completion, the expressway will exponentially reduce travel times within Nairobi and thus help the country save man-hours, which is being lost in the traffic jams on a daily basis. The Lake Victoria Port Modernization Project to increase cargo handling capacity of the port and to increase Kenya's bilateral and multilateral trading within the region. The expansion of healthcare facilities to facilitate fruition of the country's universal healthcare coverage under the Big Four agenda. By speeding up movement of people and goods, the government is aiming to promote trading through reduction of travel times and costs. Thank you for joining us. This is Good Morning Africa, and my name is Miriam Ogutu. I trust that your day has started off well. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuned in. Today we have a lot in store for you. But before I bring in my panelists, I'd like to bring us up to date with the latest figures of COVID-19 here in the country and across Africa and Kenya this morning. The number of confirmed cases so far have totaled to 131,116 cases. The people who have since died from COVID-19 in the country is 2,135, and recovery so far is 92,161 cases. Uganda, the cases are at 40,820. So far, the people who have since died in Uganda is 335, and recovery so far is 40,448 cases. And South Africa, the leading country in the continent. This morning, the figures stands at 1,545,975 cases. The death toll in South Africa is 52,710. Recovery so far is 1,472,645. And then I'll just keep over and go to the total cases across Africa this morning, and right now stands at 3,054,700, and the number of people who have died from the continent is 102,152, and recovery so far is at 2,717,535 cases. And you will realize that South Africa, I think, accounts for over half the deaths that we have recorded here in Africa, and over half the cases that have been recorded here in the continent. So we know South Africa is the hard hit country when it comes to the COVID-19 in the continent, but still we've seen numbers going up even for the countries that perhaps had recorded fewer cases, especially here in Kenya. We've seen the numbers going up. So you're continued to be urged: wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, and if you really don't have to be out there in the public, then don't be out there in the public. Okay, thank you so much. So joining me this morning is Dr. Joseph Nyanchama from Nairobi. Doctor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Melia.
All right, Doc, nice to have you this morning on the show. And we do have Douglas Kirimi from Meru. Douglas, a very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you, Miriam, and also to Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, and also to our viewers across the world. Good morning. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, and thank you so much. And I think the rest will be joining us in a very short bit. And as they do that, let me just take us through the headline of the newspapers this morning. And the Daily Nation, the main headline there reads, revealed Al-Shabaab plot against Kibaki. Raila report states that in 2012, terrorist group may have instigated a plan to kill the then Prime Minister, the then President and Prime Minister. The story is on page 6 of the Standard newspaper. And then Kenyans Fuliza 1.2 billion per day. Okay, that is according to reports, and so easily accessible, so addictive. Kenyans took nearly 1.2 billion Kenya shillings a day in mobile loans last year. And down there, Mwilu closes courts in counties under lockdown. And then why DP Ruto's war on one Kenya is a waste of time. And on the side there, Obama family is mourning. I think yesterday we talked about that. And then on the Star newspaper, the main headline there reads, a fresh BBI splits heat, Uhuru Raila referendum plan, senators pushing for far-reaching proposals to amend the bill. And then, of course, on the main picture there is Kalonzo, and 100,000 other Kenyans have been vaccinated. And then Mama Sarah eulogized as a caring educator. And then crisis looms as hospitals run low on oxygen supply. That is what is on the front page of the Star newspaper and on the Standard newspaper. Heartbreak for Obama's grandma to the world, attributes pour in for Mama Sarah Obama, who burst into stardom when her grandson Barack Obama was elected U.S. president in 2009. The Obamas are grief-stricken, but are also celebrating a graceful woman who Obama described as his bridge to the past. And then up there, 6 senators allied to DP Ruto on verge of losing their seats, and the registrar of political parties begins the process of striking out names of 6 senators allied to DP Ruto who have been expelled from Jubilee's members' role after it received communication from Secretary General Raphael Tuju. So the story is on page 12. So we do have that, and we do have, I think, this headline on the Star that I would like for us to discuss this morning. Thank you so much. I think we're also joined by Jevan Karanja. Jevan, a very good morning to you.
Very well. A very good morning to you, Miriam, and good morning to my co-panelists. Good morning to our viewers wherever they are watching us from. Always a pleasure showing up on the Punchline TV.
All right, thank you so much, Jevan Karanja. And we do have also Musa Abdi Haji. Musa, very good morning to you.
Morning, Miriam. Morning to all the fellow panelists. Thank you so much for having me. Okay. It's a pleasure, Miriam. Thank you.
Nice to see you this morning, Musa. So let me just turn into to page 12 of the Standard newspaper this morning, and we see what they're saying about this rebel Jubilee Party members who are now facing expulsion from their party and might lose their seats. And the story is on page 12. So let's, this is an interesting list. Now, 6 nominated Jubilee, I think the ones that already had been Jubilee suspended, but they took their case to the party's tribunal. 6 nominated Jubilee senators, allied to Deputy President Ruto, are on the verge of having their seats declared vacant. Yesterday, the registrar of political parties, Anne Derito, told the Standard that her office has kicked off the process of striking off the names of the expelled senators from Jubilee membership roll. Ms. Derito said that having received communication on the party's resolution to kick out the errant members from the Jubilee, Secretary General Raphael Tuju, her office has begun to review the procedure followed in expelling the members. She said the office has about 3 days to make a decision, while hinting that it could be as soon as today. Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, I don't know what you make of this expulsion of senators from Jubilee Party, because they have been supporting another party, that is UDA, outside of the party's laws there.
Thank you, Miriam. This is a pleasure to participate in Punch African TV. It's one of my greatest pleasures. These days I feel very excited. Miriam, I have very little to say here because I wonder, I usually tell people, choose the house which interests you most and live there. Get planted there. It's when you will grow. You know, this gimmick of putting one leg here and one leg there is not tenable in life. So if you want to succeed in life, choose and focus. In fact, I usually tell people, maybe what I didn't tell this TV is that I'm a motivational speaker. I train youth and leaders particularly. I usually tell them, do not focus on what your neighbor drives. Focus on what drives you. But you see, you want to focus on what your neighbor drives, you come back again. I get sick when I see these happenings because you choose as a leader. It is sickening, especially when we are discussing about people are supposed to show the way. People are supposed to show the principles. People are supposed to train the children that when you choose a cause, focus it. You know why this man who used to play volleyball, basketball, focus. That's why he became a legend. So in short, Miriam, to say, I don't want to give life to some of the mediocre thinking of some of the leaders. I want to say, in summary, let our leaders choose where their interests are, which benefits the nation, and they get planted. That is how we can grow.
All right.
That's my comment.
Thank you so much. That is Dr. Nyanchama. Thank you so much, Doc. Douglas, Doc, they're saying, you have to choose and focus on where you want your feet to be planted. But these politicians, they want to have their cake and eat it at the same time. Is it possible? Douglas? Well, I'll go to Javan.
Okay, thank you very much, Miriam, for that. And Miriam, for the recent time, we have seen members of parliament, especially who subscribe to the Tanga Tanga narrative, and those who have formed the newest party, UDA. And you see, Miriam, these people, they feel like Jubilee is not the house that satisfies them the most. Jubilee is a house that is not giving them room to grow their wings politically. Therefore, I don't see why they are crying foul to remain in Jubilee while they have been doing things outside the Jubilee constitution, and they have been going around the country trying by all means to jeopardize the government agenda. And therefore, you see, these people, they are worried, and I see it's high time that they get expelled from the party, so that they can concentrate with the UDA manifesto, UDA structure, so that they can have a formidable political party as we head to 2022 general elections. But Miriam said and done, it's high time that our politicians started to cultivate a culture of respecting their political parties, a culture of seeing political parties as tools of change, as instruments that can be used to better the development of a nation, because they have reduced the political party to be a vehicle to take you to a position of power. Then after that, you jump ship and you start doing your business. It's high time that we have political parties that are founded on ideology, manifesto, so that a party that will outlive the members who are there currently, a party that will go for generations, that we have the CCM in Tanzania, or ANC in South Africa, or the Communist Party of China. These strong parties, Miriam, they are founded not around individuals, but they are founded around interest to develop their country. That is why they have been able to survive the test of time. Therefore, as we move on, Miriam, I see as a very good step, because this will act as an example even to other political parties which might have defiant members. And that is so. But Miriam, they should understand, this outfit calling itself UDA is constituted of members who have defiled, members who have misbehaved, members who are indisciplined in other political outfits. And you see those who are indisciplined in ODM, they go to UDA, the Jubilee, they go to UDA. Therefore, these are party, and from the onset, these are party that they are creating out of convenience. They are creating out of their own self-interest. And I see the way they misbehaved in other political parties, they will take their misbehavior to the newly constituted UDA party. And I don't see this party, Miriam, surviving the test of time. And it's just a matter of time that they will start disagreeing among themselves, because this is not a party that is formed out of the interest or out of the goodwill to ensure that they take this country to the next level, or to ensure that they change the livelihoods of Kenya. These are tools just to show. And I see, Miriam, this UDA party was formed to show other big parties like Jubilee or ODM that we can do something. Therefore, these are parties to show that we can do something. Therefore, at the end of the day, we have seen what they can do, and we have tested them in several by-elections, and they have failed terribly. Therefore, it's high time that they figure out on how they want to do. Because in 2022, Miriam, I wish we have credible, formidable national political parties that will compete around ideologies rather than competing around regional and tribal mobilization. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Jevon Karanja. Musa, the fate of these 6 senators might be decided as soon as today, according to the story on page 12 of the Standard newspaper. Jubilee communicated yesterday to the registrar of parties, and they're asking them to strike the name of the party list of the people who were nominated. And these 6 are nominated: Senator Millicent Omanga, nominated Senator Isaac Mwaura, nominated Senator Victor Prengei, nominated Senator Mary Seneta, nominated Senator Naomi Wako, and Falhada Dekao. Will this help in perhaps bringing some discipline when it comes to membership in political parties here in Kenya, if at all it goes through? Musa?
Definitely no, Miriam. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I have said no, Miriam, the panelists will agree with me, and anyone is entitled to their own opinion, Miriam, and I'm blessed to have no affiliation to any political party in this country, Miriam. Because for a young man, it's an embarrassment, it's a shame, it's a pity, Miriam, for one to be affiliated to any political party in this country, because these are political parties with no values. As Javan has put it, these are political parties with no ideologies. They are just one and the same thing, Miriam, written in a different handwriting. When you look at Jubilee, when you look at ODM, when you look at other political parties like KANU, one and the same thing, Miriam. All of them are capitalists. All of them are just opportunistic political parties who have no structure to mentor young people, Miriam. And why am I saying this? When Cyril Ramaphosa, Thabo Mbeki were students, Miriam, and they were young and they were really energetic, with the likes of Steve Biko and Sir Albert Luthuli in the universities, Miriam, ANC provided a platform to train its future leaders. They invested in these people, Miriam. They ensured that whatever they are going to get for the future of South Africa is bred, is really prepared, Miriam, so that people can see leaders who are refined. The same happened with the formation of Chama cha Mapinduzi by Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere in 1977. The product of that school, Miriam, Benjamin Mkapa, Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete, John Pombe Magufuli, Miriam, and other secondary and tertiary beneficiaries like President Samia Suluhu, who joined the political party in early 2000, Miriam. Political parties should be a breeding ground for future leaders. You go to United Kingdom, Jeremy Corbyn, Theresa May, Boris Johnson, David Cameron, Gordon Brown, Tony Blair, all these were really working under Margaret Thatcher in 1970s, Miriam. They were being groomed on how they can become future leaders for their country. You go to United States of America, Miriam, Barack Obama started by being a social community mobilizer for Democrat Party, Miriam, in 1990s, before he became the county representative, and then he went on to being the representative for state of Hawaii, Miriam. So now you are seeing political parties in Kenya only being a convenient ground for older people who have finished their years in politics, Miriam. Two, if not older people, political rejectees or politically recycled people who are just changing parties here and there, Miriam. We've lost all the shine and sheen of political parties in this country. Today, Miriam Javan can go to any political party in this country and he or she will be judged by how much he has and not by how much of the ideologies they have, Miriam. Mm-hmm. So we are living in a very bullshit country as far as political parties is concerned. And even the registrar of political party, Miriam, is a toothless bulldog. Let me not lie to you, Miriam. Mm-hmm. Even if they are going to fire those senators are going to come in different scheme. They are going to come as sympathetic candidates. Now people will be saying, we were rejected by other people. Miriam, as Professor Nyanchama has put it, we are lacking values, Miriam. People are building a lot of houses instead of identifying the best house you should be living in and planting and living in that house, Miriam. Mm-hmm. John McCain died in Republican Party. Barack Obama, up to now, even if when he retired, he came back and supported the old man, Biden, Miriam. Mm-hmm. People, you remember John Pombe Magufuli got the lowest, Miriam, I submit, the lowest approval rate in Chama Cha Mapinduzi, 58%, Miriam, the lowest. Others were getting 70s, the likes of Jakaya Kikwete during their time. And that person who got to the lowest is the president who has ever gotten closer to Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere. Do we have that in Kenya, Miriam? Definitely the answer is no. As a young man, and I'm expressing on behalf of very many young people in this country, we don't have confidence in the register of political parties. We don't have confidence in these political parties in this country, Miriam. I submit.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, Ruto's allies have already indicated they will battle the removal to the bitter end. So a member of parliament, Caleb Kositanyi, said they would go up to the Supreme Court to challenge the decision, even as he expressed confidence that the senators would serve their full term. So they're saying these nominated senators, they'll go and challenge and their removal to their bitter end. But we've seen the activities. I mean, it's out there in public, the rallies they've been attending, endorsement on UDA and activities affiliated to another party. But now they're saying you cannot remove us from Jubilee Party. And a lot of people would assume they've already left in their own evolution there, Douglas. Are they being honest, insisting on staying in Jubilee Party?
Thank you, Miriam. What we are experiencing today from the UDA party adherents who are bracing their party leader, Deputy President William Ruto, is political miasma and political isolationist kind of politics. These people don't want to leave Jubilee Party, but they want to still continue enjoying the rages that comes as a result of being members of Jubilee Party. People like Mwaura, who was insulting the president, who is his party leader. Mwaura serves as the BS of the party, Jubilee Party, and also President Uhuru Kenyatta, Miriam. But at the end of the day, they have gone out there to insult the president, besmirch and dismember his own legacy across the nation. This is very unacceptable, and the rule of law is rule of law. You cannot replace the rule of law with any other thought. And these people who are saying they are going to fight to the end, they are not going to fight anywhere, Miriam. It is as good as done. At the end of the day now, it is as good as done. They need to focus their energies into getting the UDA party up and moving so that they can be able to now use that party to be able to bargain for the next slot for nomination, especially Mwaura, who has never run for office. Mwaura has never run for any public office. Wherever he ran, he is always defeated.
Okay, sorry. I think that was from Doctor. Doctor, please just mute it, because when you try to listen in, then it's affecting the rest of the broadcast. All right, thank you so much. I apologize for that. Douglas, go ahead. Finish.
Thank you, Miriam.
Yes.
And what we are seeing today is people who want to continue enjoying party privileges, their salaries and everything that comes as a result of being members of Jubilee Party. But this is a party that sponsored them to parliament, that they continue destroying and continue dismembering. But at the end of the day, they want to stick to Jubilee. It is a party of convenience, according to William Ruto and his friends. What we can tell them is now it is already done. They can move on.
Sorry, Doctor, could you just mute that? Thank you. Yeah, all right. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Okay, all right. Challenges with technology, but there you go, Douglas. Go ahead.
Thank you, Miriam.
I apologize.
And at the end of the day, Miriam, thank you. My point in many words is these people should be chased out of Jubilee Party, and they already have their party, Miriam. Another thing that really pisses me off is that lack of morals and ethos from these UDA people. Yesterday, after the president banned political rallies for the second time, remember the first ban on political rallies was not lifted. He banned political rallies again, and they were campaigning in Kisii County, in a Bonchari constituency, Miriam, and the people died in that accident. There is also an accident that happened yesterday. They were campaigning without mask, without social distancing, no sanitizers, no nothing, killing poor people because they can be able to afford hospital bills in posh hospitals in this country, Miriam. This is a people that want to continue staying in Jubilee Party. Actually, by the fact that they can even defy their party leader and continue campaigning for an opposition candidate in UDA, Miriam, it also means they can also be expelled. Others can also be expelled. We are urging Jubilee Party to continue purging these people, Miriam, because people are dying. We are in the middle of an health emergency in this country, Miriam. We are trying to curb COVID-19, but the only people we are seeing campaigning out there are people from UDA, Miriam. Jubilee Party is right. The registrar of political parties is also right to be able to strike Mwaura and his friends from the register of members of Jubilee Party. Because, Miriam, at the end of the day, this is what we are getting after sponsoring these people to parliament. Members of Jubilee Party are breeding. The party leader is breeding. Everyone, file and rank of Jubilee Party is breeding because these people continue serving and also misusing their positions, Miriam, and also entertaining themselves from the Rajis of Jubilee Party, courtesy of Jubilee Party, and they continue dismembering that party. What I'm saying is these people should not contemplate of fighting because they cannot win, Miriam. This fight is as good as done. I wish them all the best as they go to UDA. We can only meet them in parliament in 2022 when they get elected on a party that is called UDA, Miriam. As for Jubilee Party, it's done with Mwaura and his friends. Thank you, Miriam.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right, we'll just leave that right there because I want for us to look at maneno ya BBI inaleta shida sasa. A lot of speculation and things being said around, but we know that the starters or the authors of this handshake, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta and his handshake brother Raila Odinga, have not come out to express or to tell us there's a problem in the handshake there, but there has been a lot of speculation. So let's just get into talking, and the story is on page 4 and 5 of the Star newspaper, and see what is really going on with the handshake. All right. So fresh cracks in the joint BBI parliamentary committee could jeopardize President Uhuru Kenyatta's and ODM leader Raila Odinga's push for a referendum by June. Details of the sharp divisions in the Joint Senate and National Assembly Committee emerged as Parliament resumes today to suspend physical sittings due to the worsening COVID-19 pandemic. Senators and MPs on the committee have clashed over thorny issues, including whether or not to make recommendations to amend the BBI bill. The Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 is before the Joint Committee for review before it is tabled for a second reading. The Star has established that senators led by the chairperson Okongo Amugeni are pushing for far-reaching proposals to amend the bill before Parliament. But you see, they're trying to amend this bill. And yet this is a people-driven process. When Kenyans appended their signature, and that meant that thing should not be touched. They should bring it out, and then Kenyans will vote yes or no in support of it. And Parliament is trying to look for a leeway in how to amend. And now, from what we are learning, what the Star is saying, they want far-reaching amendments that is against the Constitution. They're not supposed to remove or even put. They're not supposed to do anything to that bill that will alter what Kenyans already appended their signatures for and are waiting to go vote on a referendum for. What kind of politics? What do you think is really going on there in Parliament, Doctor? And the interesting part is the supporters or the proponents of this BBI bill are the ones who are leading this new onslaught there against this bill in Parliament. It's confusing even to Kenyans, don't you think? Dr. Nyanchama. Okay, as we wait for Doc there, I'll go to Javan.
No, the doctor should unmute. He is there.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah.
They'll unmute him from here. As they unmute, Patrick Mundilo, you're saying, Miriam and panel, good morning. Good morning to you. Ruto should explain to Kenyans activities going on in the Congo with Ugandan dictator Museveni on a 300-mile land protected by soldiers. Patrick, okay.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it is okay. Go ahead. This new things we're seeing in Parliament there on debate on this BBI Amendment Bill 2020, the Constitution Amendment Bill 2020. What is really going on in Parliament?
You know what is happening, Miriam. Yesterday I said that as a country or a continent, we have produced. What I said, that we have produced powerful leaders without principles. In fact, I am very surprised when the Constitution is very clear, the provision is clear regarding the ceremonial nature of such provisions, which of changing the Constitution. Remember the same people, remember when the president received the names of the judges? Do you know what they said? Mm-hmm. The president's job is purely ceremonial. Mm-hmm. You cannot even change a comma. No anything, not even attempt to stretch your hand with an intention to change a comma. Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to their part, interests have started to emerge. It is very clear. And you see the people who are in the front line are the lawyers. In fact, lawyers, I'm not against them. Some of them behave as if they own Kenya. They know everything. Abraham Lincoln advised the lawyers. And they said, Miriam, I can quote, mm-hmm. There is a general belief that lawyers are generally dishonest. He was addressing young lawyers. And he told them, it is a noble profession. And those young men and women who are choosing law for a calling, choose to be honest. And if you cannot be honest as a lawyer, my young men and women, it is better to choose not to be a lawyer. What I wanted to say in short is that Miriam is purely interests which have started to creep in. Because it is very clear their job is purely ceremonial. Mm-hmm. At this particular moment, you cannot read anything other than interests. Now they are focusing, they are seeing, Miriam, what most of these people need to know is to refer them to one experiment which was done by a man, I can't remember at this moment, that if you take flies and the bees and put them in a transparent bottle and put at the window, which do you think Miriam would escape first? Mm-hmm.
Doc. All right, we seem to have...
People would think the bees would escape because they are taking this surprise. The flies would escape 100%, yes. And the bees would die 100%. Mm-hmm. The reason is the bees think where the light shines brightest, that is where the exit is. They hit the wall of the transparent bottle and they die one by one. and the flies which are taken by the public as stupid, they will run helter-skelter and find the exit at the end of the bottle, and they escape 100%. Right. Let not some of these people bring unnecessary intelligence to something which is straightforward. I think it is interest, and we need actually to be vigilant. That is all I want to say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. So now we've learned how the Star has established that the senators led by the chairperson Okongo Omugeni are pushing for far-reaching proposals to amend the bill before Parliament. However, the National Assembly's panel led by Muturi Kigano is determined to ring-fence the bill from any further amendments triggering a standoff. The thorny issues are said to have also split Raila's allies down the middle, with those in the National Assembly insisting the bill must not be open for any further amendments. So those in the National Assembly, they're saying, no, we cannot open the bill for any further amendments. Senators in the BBI committee have reportedly pledged to write a report recommending the bill to be reopened for amendments against the wishes of their counterparts in the National Assembly. So are we seeing a power play here between Parliament and Senate? And are we seeing other interests now creeping up that perhaps were not there earlier and now playing out here? Are we seeing sabotage? Are we seeing backstabbing? What is really happening there in Parliament, Javen?
Thank you very much, Miriam, for that good question at this very moment. Miriam, from the onset, when we had the handshake, a lot of people showed a lot of skepticism. A lot of people showed a lot of dissatisfaction with the process, and they thought that this was just a process that would not see the light of the day. They didn't speculate that BBI will reach where we are today. That is why they are trying now. They are surprised. They are in crossroad because these are something that they underrated. They didn't see it materializing. Therefore, and now because they have been presented to the floor of a National Assembly and Senate, they think now it is a ripe moment for them now to sabotage the process, to blackmail the process, so that they can get maybe some allowances, some few coins here and there, because maybe they feel when President Uhuru Kenyatta met with the MCA, by the virtue of declaring that he will continue. You know, they were promised before 2017 that they will get 2 million car grant. But President, maybe after amplifying that, maybe the members of Parliament think now it is their time also to get something from this process. But they should understand that their role here is purely ceremonial, because they will not alter or change the contents of the BBI. They should also bear in their mind that BBI contains recommendations from Kenyans. This is not a document that came from heaven or from some was excavated from somewhere underneath. This is something that was made by Kenyans. The contents of the BBI are made by Kenyans. Therefore, if they want to change that, Miriam, if we give them room to alter this process for their own political gains, then Miriam, we are staring at a very bad predicament, because when they do that, Kenyans also, some of them who fail to present their recommendation, present their concerns, they will also ask for a room to amend the document. Mm-hmm. Miriam, where we are today, we could have crossed this road before in 2010, when we were having the 2010 constitution, when the members of Parliament failed to pass the document, the Naivasha draft as it was. Rather, they went and amended, because the document was talking of a purely parliamentary system. But they altered that so that we remain to retain the parliamentary, the presidential system that we have today. Therefore, we will not allow them today to hijack the process and make the mistake that were done by I think is the 10th Parliament, to amend the constitution and to remove, to erase an article that was quite important, bearing in mind of the nature of our politics in this country. Therefore, this time, Miriam, let's not give them room to amend this process, to amend this document, because the contents of this document are very progressive, they are very good, and they are focused to ensure that we have a peaceful country, we have credible elections, we amplify the fight against corruption, and we bring national ethos, and we end the ethnic antagonism that we have in this country. Therefore, this document as it is very good. But you know, Miriam, we cannot trust our politicians with this document. If it was other people from other quarters, maybe yes. But these politicians, they will alter for their own political gains. They will alter to make them more rich. Miriam, this is not the right time. Let's have a document that is for Kenyans, but let them not hijack the process. As Dr. Masanga says, this is a redemption strategy. This is not a political process. Time for politics will come, and that is 2022. Now we want to make our country better. We want to level the political terrain so that anybody, Miriam, even Musa Gal Mahaji from Isiolo, can run and become the president of this country, can run and become the prime minister in this country. Let's add this political dominance, the tribal political dominance by 3 or 4 tribes that have dominated the political space. Let's expand the executive so that we have other Kenyans feeling as part and parcel of this government. To me, that is very important, and that is why I wish the members of parliament, they do justice. We have elected them to represent us, and this time let them do justice by ensuring that they don't alter this document so that we go for a referendum. Because Kenyans, Kenya nowadays, Miriam, they are educated. They will make the right decision on the ballot. Right. If they feel the document is not good, they will not vote for it. If they feel the document is progressive and it takes the country to the next level, they will vote for it. Let them give that mandate to Kenyans because they are our servants. We elected them to serve us, not to serve themselves. Thank you.
And I think those views, they are trying to amend the views of Kenyans, which the committee of experts went around the country, collected the views the first time, and then others were not captured. They went back again to Kenyans, collected more views, and now it was compiled there by the experts. And now there you go. Parliament, Senate, I think, is the one that wants to change. But let's see what the reasons are. On the story on page 4 of the Star newspaper, on Monday, a senator on the committee confirmed to the Star there was a deadlock in the panel over reopening the report for the review. We cannot hold public participation in vain. We cannot see it as a committee, invite Kenyans to give their views, and then disregard the same views, he said in confidence. He said the protracted face-off was not about to end. He cited fear of reprisal for commenting on matters before the committee without authority from the chairpersons. We hold the view that we have an opportunity to set the precedent on the role of Parliament on constitutional review by popular initiative. Okay, well, I do understand perhaps where they're coming from, but what does the Constitution say? The Constitution say when Kenyans have already appended the signature there, that cannot be changed. So why now? Why do you think they want to change now? And we know the two issues that they're really concerned about. One is the distribution of the 70 constituencies that has been proposed in the BBI, and I think the other one is the judiciary ombudsman. These are the two key issues the last time we checked that they felt they need to talk about. And also they're saying Kenyans were allowed to come in and give their views. So these views that they give needs to be incorporated. About 65 groups showed up in the public participation in Parliament. So these views cannot just be wished away, should be incorporated in the BBI bill. So you wonder the question now, and perhaps I don't know, maybe it's a lacuna in our constitution, public participation where Kenyans give their views. There was public participation in the counties. Remember when the MCAs voted for it? It has been going through public participation. So which public participation should matter here, Douglas? Musa?
William, at the end of the day, we need to be able to demystify what is public participation when it comes to the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya have been moving, giving their views concerning the bill, and now Parliament are led by a cabal of leaders who, when they get into Parliament, they get together and become a band of people who are joined together by their own selfish interest and not that of the people of Kenya. the people of Kenya across the nation made their submissions and also made their submissions to the task force, and also made sure that their views are reflected in that report. What is that kind of public participation that Parliament keeps talking about, and also where they want to be able to do a public participation? Don't they trust the people of Kenya with their own destiny? Remember, Miriam, as I conclude on this point, it is baseless for the members of Parliament to talk about public participation at this point, because the mandate that the people in Parliament are dispensing today is a mandate that is directly given to them by the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya have decided this time round they are going to give their public participation views and take this bill to referendum and vote for it as the people of Kenya. They want to exercise this power directly at the ballot themselves without involving the members of Parliament. Like Jevan Karanja said, we cannot trust this process with the members of Parliament today, because we have known these are people that can be bribed by less than $100, 10,000 Kenya shillings. These are people that we cannot trust with this process. They have tried to bungle it. And like I said before, this is the last attempt to be able to curtail this process and also make sure that the BBI fails in Parliament. It is not possible. Their role majorly is ceremonial. As far as this is concerned, it has to go to the people of Kenya, and the people of Kenya decide on the fate of this BBI report and the process. Remember, the president himself said in Sagana that he cannot be able to trust the whole of these bills, every bill that people wanted to be taken to Parliament, because he cannot himself trust them, citing an example with the division of revenue for Miri that was taken to the Senate, and they had to go and sit over 12 times Miriam, sitting to discuss the division of revenue for Miri. But at the end of the day, what we are seeing today is the hypocrisy that has been exhibited of the highest order by our MPs, members of Parliament representing the people of Kenya indirectly. The people of Kenya want to represent their voices directly at the ballot on this referendum issue, because they don't want to trust their members of Parliament, Miriam. We can no longer trust our members of Parliament. These are wolves in sheep skin masquerading as our members of Parliament in a National Assembly, and there is no other kind word I can have for these people, Miriam, because they have been able to strangle every process and every idea that has been of benefit to the people of Kenya, Miriam. If you ask yourself today, if President himself, a man that has been at the helm of government for 8 years today, cannot trust members of Parliament, why do the the poor people of this nation trust their members of Parliament, people that can only speak when it is about their own selfish ambitions and their own greed, Miriam? At this point, the people of Kenya want to exercise this directly, and there is no amount of public participation. What public participation? Is it not the voices of the people of Kenya that are being represented in this document? Is it not the voices and aspirations and the ideas of the people of Kenya that Parliament is debating and talking about taking it back to public participation? And we need to have a definition of what is public participation from these members of Parliament. They need to say the truth. They need to ask for money to pass BBI, because that is where they ended, Miriam. If they are not going to ask for that directly, the people of Kenya know the kind of hypocrisy that is being exhibited by the members of Parliament in the National Assembly of the Republic of Kenya, Miriam, I submit.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, the push and pull over the BBI bill could significantly affect the roadmap to the referendum unveiled by Raila and Uhuru in Nairobi last year. The BBI Secretariat had unveiled a tight timeline that will culminate in a referendum in mid-year. The law bars any constitutional amendment a year to a general election. So we already seems to be staring at a problem there already, because the law bars any constitutional amendments a year to a general election. Remember, we do have our next elections next year, God willing, in August, and the bill is the product of popular initiative as stipulated in Article 257 of the Constitution, and some experts say Houses of Parliament should consider it as it is. The cracks emerged amid revelation that committee has suspended all its planned meetings, both virtual and physical, further throwing the plebiscite into a state of uncertainty. Doctor, now we thought, the proponents of this BBI, President and his brother Raila Odinga there, so far they sailed through, the people and people giving their signatures and their views and through the counties, and they thought, okay, all the hurdles are out of the way right now, but now we see we're staring at a real crisis now there in Senate, actually. Doctor?
Unmute.
Go ahead.
You are getting me now?
Yes. Go ahead.
Miriam, you must know that the most unsafe, any military guy will tell you, the most unsafe part of victory journey is after winning the battle and you are on your way back home. That's the most risk part of your victory journey. These hurdles are there. Mm-hmm. I will tell you that if the President Uhuru Kenyatta and Right Honorable Raila Odinga intend this BBI to go through, it will go through. Or what is facing are the normal hurdles where now interests have been invoked, as I had said earlier. In the Bible, there is a man known as Tobias. When Nehemiah started to rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and his master, the king, was so agitated because he felt if the wall could be rebuilt, his strategy could not work what he wanted to be. And he was so agitated, but Tobias was calming him down and saying, even the fox, if it stands on that wall, it would bring it down. Miriam, the wall of Jerusalem, in the end, it was rebuilt. There are always the Tobias syndrome all over. Benjamin Franklin, in fact, says the things which hurt instruct. Allow me to use this narrative, and the ladies will excuse me, that a woman who cannot persevere the morning sickness will never live to see the laughter of her baby. All the BBI proponents need to do, this is the most strenuous labor period. All they need to do is just to persevere. Because all this is part of life. Let us not give the negative aspect life. In fact, we say circumstances do not make a man. It reveals him to himself. What is happening, Miriam, let me tell you. Parliament, you see, they have been posting that they have the power. And you hear them say, usually, that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I usually don't agree. Power reveals the character of the power holder, and absolute power reveals it absolutely. Or what this has done is has revealed the character of these parliamentarians with their power, which they think supersedes the supreme power of the people. Because the BBI has already passed it there. All of me I want to encourage is to persevere, because in this life, anything you do, Miriam, has hurdles. We have to be optimistic, and it is going through. That's what my inner soul tells me. Mm-hmm. And we need to have honest people. And I want to ask my fellow panelists, let us be faithful. And how faith this thing is going through, absolute faith is like jumping into the air without wings, hoping that you will develop the wings on your way down. Okay. That is the absolute faith. And if they don't know, this time around, we are prepared to push BBI through so that people like those in the northern part will have a chance to lead this republic.
All right.
That's all I could say, and I submit me.
Thank you so much. And we're coming to an end, but I'd like Musa to say something now. There is an opinion piece here by Bobby Mkangi, and he's a constitutional lawyer, and he spoke to the Star newspaper, and he said the bill cannot and should not be amended because of the road it used to Parliament. We have to ask ourselves the rationale of having a popular initiative and a parliamentary initiative. Kenyans choose to have two distinct ways of amending the Constitution to give themselves a direct route of infusing changes in the Constitution without the intervention of the political class. That is why there is the requirement and also the logic when you look at Article 257, which requires that even beyond the general suggestion of amending the Constitution, when the popular initiative route is used, it starts with the delivery of a bill to the IEBC accompanied by at least 1 million signatures of registered voters. We must ask ourselves why a bill spells out the issues in a very specific way, and it correctly captures what those who want the Constitution amended. So he's saying there, he starts there by saying it cannot and should not be amended. So some of the sticky issues here in Parliament is whether according to the Star newspaper, whether all the issues in the BBI should go into a referendum, whether there should be a multiple choice referendum, whether Parliament should incorporate public views in the bill, now the public views in Parliament, and whether Parliament has a role in amending the bill, and the last one, whether the IEBC should have the final say on the creation of the proposed 70 new constituencies. Musa, pick on.
Thank you, Miriam. Just to make it a bit, I will disagree with my brother Javan and Douglas. Kenyans are not learned, Miriam. And by going to school, by having a PhD, by having a doctorate, title, it doesn't mean someone is learned. The best thing we need in this country, and Kofi Annan said, I quote, "The world is not in need of education. The world is in need of knowledge." And Miriam, we've produced, as Professor Dr. Nyanchama has said, very powerful leaders without principles. So when these members of parliament are behaving the way they are behaving, I will not blame them, Miriam. Anyway, it is the reincarnation and the embodiment of the voters on the ground. We are the ones who followed ethnicity. We are the ones who followed money. We are the ones who followed political patronage. So and so has been endorsed by these and these, so let us worship them. So we don't blame these people the way they are behaving. Coming to this bill, Miriam, the bill that is BBI, no one is perfect, Miriam. The current president of this country, President Uhuru Kenyatta, there are a lot of things I don't agree with him. Ideologically, economically, Miriam, we differ a lot. But I respect President Uhuru Kenyatta because of one thing, because he's the president of the Republic of Kenya. To show you a sense of good citizenship, you should not respect the individual in the office, respect the office itself first. Respect the honor of the office, Miriam. And this is the reason why we have a country. This is the reason why we have a...
Okay. All right. We seem to have suffered there a technical hitch.
Sovereignty, yes, Miriam?
Yes.
So we have a country with a constitution, a government, a sovereignty, and all this, Miriam. So my humble submission, and I will agree with Dr. Nyanchama here, it's all about interest. And Dr. Nyanchama said, anything good must come not easily, Miriam. When Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Miriam, tried to unite 122 tribes in Tanzania,
okay.
It took him a lot of time. It took him a lot of, struggle, a lot of, issues here and there, Miriam. So I believe, and I submit, Miriam, this process will come and go, and BBI shall pass, Miriam. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Well, we shall be here looking and seeing what's really happening there. And I think those issues I mentioned, that this is a conversation we shall continue with tomorrow. God willing. Thank you so much, Dr. Nyanchama, Javan, Douglas, and Musa. We'll take a very short break and then we shall be back with the editor's memo. My name is Miriam Ogutu. Good morning.